1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and clap. Right, guys, can everybody hear us? Please give us a message. Sounds like a Ouija board.
Well, I can see Chris Fisher. Chris Fisher is still there.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is there at the moment.
We've Jim Sarah Alba, Indy Scott Bryan, Terry Moriarty, Liebschen, Aki's Mad, June Dalrymple, Kirsty Hamilton. I've got those names, but I can't really see anything following that.
That's because they're not there. We've only got one person, that DJ Martin.
Right, hang on.
Right, now we're up to 8. Hi, Janet. Sorry, Jeanette. Hi, City Flyer. I think we're on a different stream this time, David. Doesn't it? You move out.
Do you know something? It's nowhere. It's not the stream is nowhere.
David, there's 9 people watching it right now.
Yeah, I don't know where they are.
There's
I'm
18
looking.
people. No, they're coming in from the other stream, David. We'll start the new stream.
Right.
But if it drops off again, we're going to have to just chuck it for the day.
I've got.
Hi, Roisin. Nice to see you there. Right, they're flying in the door now, David.
Right, guys, well done. Well done for finals. This is dreadful. It really is. I don't know what to say to you. Sorry, isn't good enough, but there you go. Hopefully, this will all be sorted out come Wednesday.
I'm watching it.
Oh, yeah. What are you getting?
You just swap sides, but it's the same as every stream.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Well, I guess a lot of people pissed off when we ended the stream, David, but they're starting to come back now. We're up to 32 again.
Yeah.
Hi, Regan Elite.
Okay.
Hi, Regan Elite. We're having technical problems this afternoon, Miss Regan. It's just the way it is at Target. It's fucking boat, so to just.
Yeah.
I get the bolts really hardwired, and now I end up with this. I end up with a problem with the computer itself and no the streaming on the computer.
Anyway, right, come on.
Aye,
let's get on with it.
We're talking about Glasgow Councillor, of course, who just jumped to the form. 17 councillors in total, 1 MSP, have now all jumped ship to a reform.
Yes.
And it's becoming concerning, David, because it appears that reform's starting to have an influence north of the border here.
Well, first off, you've got to look at the thing that I've been saying that for week after week after week, and you agree with, is that people are going to vote reform to get rid of Labour. So they voted Labour to get rid of the Tories, and now the Tories are like dying in their asses, right? And now they're going to vote reform to get rid of Labour.
Aye.
And that's the way that the political mind, the political mindset of the people is operating. And we need to talk to them. We need to talk to people, and don't talk to them as if they're stupid. Talk to them as if, do you really think that's a good idea? Because, and then go through it, right? The idea of, yes. Hello?
Hello.
Any reason you're online?
Yeah, you're running a few minutes behind.
What?
You're running a few minutes behind.
A few seconds behind.
You're running a few minutes behind.
Running a few minutes behind. I can't see what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking to you just now. You're
Yeah.
talking. There you are. That's you answering me now.
Right. Okay. That's fine. Thanks very much. Okay. Ziggy, stop. Thank you. David, we get severe problems.
Well, I don't know why, because the comments are coming through fine, David. So that means we're getting out on time.
Yeah.
There's no way we've got a couple of minutes of lag.
I know. That's what the assistant madam director is saying. Anyway, there you go. Sorry, where was I? What was I up to? Where I was interrupted? Yeah,
We were talking about reform and their influence.
yeah. So when we talk to people, other voters, don't talk to them as if they're stupid. For goodness sake, it's the last thing we want to do, right? Talk to them about the situation and explain that all the problems that Scotland has at the moment all lie on one thing, the constitutional question. They all pivot on that one thing, right? So if you talk about independence, people are going to, who the fuck is this? They are going to take this.
Well, kick yourself out the now.
Right. I can't. I've got to answer the phone. Hello? Lorna, can you ring me back, darling? I'm actually online. I'm online at the moment. Thanks, Lorna. Bye. That's fine. That's okay. All right. Cheers, bye. Bye. Sorry about that. Right.
Anyway, Audrey Dempsey is the second Glasgow-based councillor to have joined Reform. The first one was Thomas Kerr, young councillor from Shettleston, who was in the Conservatives, and he jumped ship to Reform in January.
Somebody can imagine somebody from the Conservatives going to Reform because they're going. They're just watching for the last person in the Tories in Scotland saying, "Can you switch the lights out?" You know.
Well, funny enough, that leaves only one Tory councillor in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And they can't conduct any committee work because you need at least two to be able to go on a committee.
That's fine. Yeah.
Right. But 17 councillors right across Scotland have joined the form. One MSP has now joined the form. And I can see a couple of Tory MPs joining the form before too long because they're all looking to get re-elected.
Right. I think in actual fact you need to take a step back from all this and say, right, all these other parties, London parties, are jumping on this bandwagon called Reform, right? You really look at it and look at it hard. Humza Yousaf's ideas might not be so daft. He reckons they're going to get handed their arses.
Well, we're not there yet, and it's a long way, but it's not a long way after the 2026 election, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Right, today, John Swinney and both Kate Forbes have invaded the city of Glasgow.
Oh, wonderful. And to what, may I ask, have they actually come to Glasgow for?
Well, John's there to open a new family hub in Maryhill, which brings together midwives, neonatal staff, perinatal, mental health staff, and a third sector under the one roof, so that people in the Maryhill, Ruckhill area could get support in the early days of their children's life.
It's something we'll mention in a future programme, probably Monday, because I'll get a chance. It's the first I've heard of this.
Yep.
And I'll get a chance to speak to the Madam Director at the Send, who's Ilfister, and see what the score is, see what she knows about it.
Right. So, it's not a bad idea to put all these health professionals that go to dairy pregnancy and post-pregnancy all under one roof to help the people in the area, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit like the baby box. It's a good idea to give a kid a blanket, right?
a good
It's
start.
a good idea. Good idea to give a kid some baby food or whatever, right? Okay, and then eventually somebody go, well, why don't we put it in a baby box? So
Aye,
doing the same, we're doing the same with professionals.
aye, we're putting all the healthcare professionals for that particular speciality in one hub in the middle of a big housing estate
Yep.
where we've got a lot of children being born.
If it's
That's what we're doing.
successful, if successful, I hope it would be rolled out
Yes,
in other places. Yeah, because initiatives like these always do tend to be very, very good. We
yep,
actually had a situation way back in the past called the Dark Team, and that was where someone who was elderly or infirm was getting released from hospital, and the Dark Team were put in place to make sure that everything was sorted out for them before they got home.
aye.
And I give initiatives like this all my very best.
Yep, and Kate Forbes is in Glasgow to promote the Scots language.
Yep.
Now, she's there to give money to um, a company who specialises in printing books in Scots. Because the Scottish Government thinks it's a good idea that the people of Scotland speak their own language.
Okay. My initial reaction on this was at the moment when you're talking about some very, very heavy things going on, it's a good idea. However, it's good to keep the culture thing up, keep it going.
Yes,
And the idea of Scots at the moment as a language that I speak and you speak and
aye,
everybody round about me speaks, right?
aye. But nobody lives and
That's
writes it.
that idea that's important. It really is important.
Well, this money's going to a printing house called Scots House Yalby,
Yeah.
right? And what they do is they print comics, books, and poetry books in the Scots language.
All I can say to that is Gail Aldi.
Aye, because let's face it, David, we all speak Scots, but none of us read and write it.
That's right.
It's about
Yeah.
time we all went back to reading and writing and speaking our own language.
It's difficult because when I write, I tend to be writing for as wide an audience I can get. So therefore, I revert to standard English. But I've
Yes,
seen things written in Scots, and sometimes it can be unwieldy.
it can be,
Yeah. So
but I don't have a problem reading it. It's writing it that I've got a problem with.
no, reading it tends to be unwieldy.
Not for
Whereas
me,
something's
no.
written, whereas if something's written in standard English, I can hop along that, no bother whatsoever, right? But all right,
No,
uh,
I seem to be all right at reading it, David, but writing it seems to be a difficulty for me.
we're here to be educated. We are here to be educated. Simple as that.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, but same here now. Having given it some thought, initially it was like, nah, what are we doing that for? Right. So anyway,
Right, so that's John Swinney and Kate Forbes and have invaded the city of Glasgow today to do good things.
did they bring their passports? Did they get in? Did they show their passports?
They don't need to. It's the People's Republic. They're allowed in. Anyway,
Yeah. Aye.
let's move on. Humza Yusuf is in the press today, and he's on about the protest that we've seen in Scotland and more concentrated in England, of course, outside asylum hotels.
Yes. Yeah.
What Humza had to say was that these protests have no place in any decent society.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he,
And if anybody has got any questions regarding the small boats and things like that, or I suggest that what you do is hop onto my timeline and pick up the broadcast that was done by Daily Blaze, where he
Daily Blase,
explains.
it's Daily
Uh,
Blase.
I call him Daily Blaze. Sorry, I apologize
There's
for
no
that.
wee tick above the E.
Right. Okay. Circumflex. That's called. Right.
Aye.
Anyway, yeah, I go into hop on my timeline and find that particular vlog that he does reference the numbers of refugees that come in. What he does is he takes all the numbers that all the people that Farage and everybody is bringing up and says, no, 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 no. And the way he
16.
does is he gets you the real numbers.
Well,
And
I'm
he
going to
says,
do that in a minute, no, David.
yeah, please
I'm
do,
going to
David.
do,
The
I will
more
do
time,
that. But I want to stick with
the better.
I want to stick with Humza for 2 more seconds here.
Yeah,
Because what he said on top of that this doesn't belong in any decent society, he then goes on to talk about how the people of Perth chased off the racists in Perth by a
yes,
counter protest.
yes.
And it came to light by the deputy council leader that actually these people weren't from Perth, they were bust in. They were bust in from elsewhere in the central belt and from the north of England.
Yeah.
And
So
that's why
no, we're talking the knuckle draggers were bust in from the north of England. Whereas
yes.
as people of Perth that lunched outside and went, you're not coming any closer. All right, okay.
They were the ones that were there. They were saying, "We welcome immigrant, we welcome refugees and all that on their placards," and they
Yeah.
outnumbered the people who were protesting. So the people who were protesting broke up the protest and left.
I tell you what, I watched that online. Where did they find Jimmy Savile? I thought he was asleep. There was a guy that was there. He looked just like Jimmy Savile, and he was stood there with a Union Jack. And you think, so where the hell did they pick him up for? A Jimmy
Here's the
Savile.
other thing you will notice, David. You will notice that most of these knuckle draggers wrap themselves in Union flags.
Yes, yes,
Well, tells you they're not from Scotland.
yeah. I know. I know.
Unless a small amount of them were Alistair's McConaughey's mob, Manky Jacket Man,
Yeah.
you know. And I have to say, I like Alistair. He's a harmless boy.
Well, yeah, you feel as if you could have a chat with him and talk him out of his nonsense. But
You can't.
uh, yeah, what's the phrase for it? Cognitive dissonance.
That's the very word, yes. But I mean,
Yeah,
I've been many conversations with Alistair. As long as you stay away from the union stuff, he's quite a nice boy.
yeah. No, it's where effectively you're saying no. The actual facts don't point to what you're saying. And
I
that
don't get into
and
them,
what they
David.
do is
Just
well,
say,
anybody that's in that situation, they'll look at ways of whereby they can overcome what you're saying. You might be given facts, but they might be going, no, 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 that can't be
David,
right.
I see this and I hear this and see this in the James O'Brien show every day, where
Yeah,
somebody will come on and say something factually incorrect. He'll correct them. They'll agree that he's correct, and he'll say to them, "But I bet you're going to agree with the same opinion anyway, aren't you?"
yeah,
And they'll say, "Aye, it's called
yeah,
cognitive difference."
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
say, and Alistair's like that.
yeah.
So I just don't talk politics to him. When I meet him when we're on the march and things like that, I stop and say, "It's honestly, how's it going, Alistair?" and things like that. And
Right.
just stay away from it.
You could talk to a lad and say, well, bad luck, what happened to Celtic yesterday? Yeah, that's it.
Rangers,
There's your,
whatever fucking team he
there's
supports.
there's your conversation going. Boom.
That's it. I stop and say, "How you keep him, son?" and things like that. He's always polite.
Yeah,
And I always make a point of stop him.
yeah.
Big Paul will be standing in front of him, and I'll need to walk round Paul to get a word with him. But where he goes. Right,
Anyway,
let's move on, David. Now, I see the wee ginger dog agrees with me and with you that there is no an immigration problem. What we have is a problem with weak press, weak politicians and a media fucking circus.
yeah, well, it's not just weak politics. Some politicians do know what the score is, and they are pushing things in a different direction for their own particular agenda.
They are definitely pushing a false narrative when it comes to immigration because there is no too many people coming to the UK. In fact, as you and I know, David, there's not enough coming.
There's not enough. Yeah, we need more people, but we also people that are recruited for National Health Service, for the Scottish National Health Service, are being hoodwinked. They're getting grabbed before they get to Scotland. Oh, they'll come over for us. Something like that.
Oh,
And these poor people are stuck in a situation of working for a setup in England that effectively is falling apart. And in actual fact, if these people had come to Scotland in the first place, they'd find they'd be in a far better situation.
well, they'll be coming anyway, but we'll get to that when we get through this. All right, then you get to put your wee song, okay?
Yeah.
Right, now, anyway, as we know, David, the figure being bandied about was that almost 1 million people came here last year.
Yeah.
Truth be, of course, that net inward migration was only 468,000 when you count in what they call irregular arrivals. Okay, they're in small boats.
This is UK. This is UK-wide figures.
This is of the Home Office issued UK-wide figures. 948,000 come in. 517,000 English people went out.
Yeah.
And that's not including the ones that came to Scotland. We'll get to that shortly, all right? Now, 39,000 people arrived by, 37,000 people arrived by what they call irregular migration. So in total, there was 468,000 net people net come in. Because when you take that 948,000, you've got to take 515,000 after that because they're just replacements for those who have left.
Yeah.
So the net migration was actually less than 500,000, 468,000 when you throw in the boat people.
Okay.
And guess what? According to the Home Office, we need 1.1 million a year.
Yeah.
So, but what does the Home Office say we need? Well, they break it down sector by sector, David, all right. And then we'll get to the people who moved to Scotland last year. Right, apparently NHS England by 3036 will have needed a turnover of 2.2 million people. For staff retiring, staff recruiting, and needing staff coming in. Right. The construction sector, in order to get a 1.5 million houses, requires 270,000 people by 2027. Social care will need an additional 600,000 to 950,000 people by 2035. That's just sector by sector, David, right? And childcare needs 70,000 people today. So 468,000 coming in and 37,000 in can't work just isn't enough. And then, of course, we've got a big problem. The people of England have also got a problem because their own people are leaving, and if they can't get abroad, they're coming here. 37,000 have moved to Scotland last year.
Yeah. But as you were saying before the program, was that in actual fact that move started in 2021?
No, it was 2020, David. It was an article in the Guardian in 2020, and that led to the guy you're about to play, Mitch, whatever his name is.
Mitch Ben, yeah.
Mitch Ben, that led to him penning the song "We're Moving to Scotland."
Yeah.
Right. So if you can try and put it up.
Yeah, sure.
I'll see if I can bring it in. Right. Once I bring it in, you can start it. It's no in yet, David. Stop it.
Okay, listen, guys. If you look closely, you'll see on the side of David's finger he's got the manufacturer's name. It's McKellar what?
David, I can't get it on my screen. Will move up, so you just need to play it through the picture.
Ah, fuck. Right. Okay. All right. Effectively, this guy penned. The important thing about this song is this guy penned this song after the situation whereby. What are you doing?
I'm trying to put a super chat up for Rasheen.
Right.
Still working. Sorry, Rasheen. Thanks for the super chat, but I'm afraid I can't put it up on screen. Right,
Yeah.
play the music. Turn that up.
All together now.
David, shut that up.
Oh dear.
The
So,
interesting thing about that, David, that Guardian article predicted that 220,000 people would have moved to Scotland by 2025 to escape the racists and nutters down that road. Guess how many's
yes,
come through? Guess how many's come through?
go on.
220,000. On
And
an average of
in actual,
40, on an average of 40,000 a year, 37,000 a year.
yeah, the people that are spotting this happening obviously are people that visit these people, that go out and see these people, right? And what they're dismayed by the amount of people that perhaps what we doing, David?
Try to show this bloody super chat, but it's not working. Just carry on talking, David.
No, David, you can't leave it, right? Yeah, so there's people that are noticing this, and they seem to be either people from, say, Birmingham that have given up their house, which is furnished, rented, and they're coming north to Scotland, and they're walking into Glasgow and they're going, right, homeless. I need I need a house, I need furniture, all the rest of it, right? In the past, it would be a case of, hang on a second, you're from Birmingham. Wait, sling a hook, go back down there, right? What's actually happening is these people are being housed.
Well,
We're
David,
not
as
talk,
you know, in your past,
we're
you
not
had to
no
resign.
we're not talking asylum seekers. We are talking to people that are being given right to stay or whatever, right? And they're allowed. They're be,
No, they're white English, they're Asian English, they're just English people, David.
yeah, I know, but the idea of David, can you please, please, the idea of people coming up, effectively, they are saying no, sorry, we're homeless, we need house here.
Aye. As I say before, you used to have to have a tight in area to be able to move there.
Yeah,
Especially if you already had housing and things like that, you know. But obviously, David,
if you take it back to something pretty normal, right? Okay, let's say that, for example, I lived in rented accommodation. I don't, but I lived in rented accommodation, council rent accommodation, right? And I said, I need to move to Edinburgh from Glasgow, from Clydebank, right? What would happen there?
you would need a job in the area or a time in the area for maybe granted the council house, yes.
I just fancy living near the Royal Mile or whatever.
David, the point is, we will tell the 220,000 people will move here by 2025. They have.
Right.
I don't know if you've noticed it, David. You go to the supermarket, it's not a Polish checkout lassie anymore. It's an English checkout lassie.
Yeah.
You know. And to be fair, when the Poles left, we needed these people to fill the vacancies that were left behind.
Yeah. So Stephen Charlton says that kind of thing happened up here in Orkney many years ago when you had families leaving their houses and stuff to move elsewhere. It's one of the ways the islands are so empty now.
Yes.
Thank you, Stephen.
They were
Right.
moving for work. Right, listen. Well, it's just about enough of that. But the point we're making here, folks, is that this small boat crap, the immigration crisis, too many people coming. Facts don't wear it out, folks.
And also, you've got to look at it from the point of view of, see, these people that are coming here, whether or not we reckon it's getting managed properly, right? We still need these people
Yes.
because there's
Right, we
too
need to
many
move on,
people,
David, because
too many people of my age were born the boomers, the baby boomers, right? Born in the 1950s and early 60s. and we don't contribute as much as we did. So therefore, we need people to come in and take our place.
That's right. But it's more to do with us, actually. We didn't have as many kids as the boomers had.
Yeah.
And the silent generation have even more kids again,
Chris
But
comes up with a nice
we
point.
need to move on.
Chris Fisher says, I don't mind English refugees if they're willing to help us out, get free from British rule.
Well, that's what the song's about, David, Chris.
Yeah.
The people moving here are moving here because they want us to get independence, build a bloody wall, and keep the insane ones in England behind it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What you're getting is the ones that are escaping, the racists and the loonies are coming here to see this place is safe. This was penned in 2020 by the Guardian.
Yet again, it's going to be down to
We have to
education.
move on, David. We really have to move on.
No, it's going to come down to education, because at the end of the day, David, that's important, right? At the end of the day, reform, the refugees, everything, it all requires education. We need you guys to get out there and go and do it.
Well, that brings us to the last subject of today: is the SNP in decline?
Well, are they, David? Come on.
Well, down to 56,000 members. Arse tanned in the last election.
Right.
Although they are predicted to win the Holyrood election.
Yeah, but that could be the best of a bad bunch. End of story, right? Could be whereby people are going, but bugger all you can do about it. We're not voting for reform, so therefore we'll vote. So the SNP are going to win that election, but there's going to be nothing, no purpose behind it.
Why?
So, unless one of them comes out and says, we're going to do X, Y, Z for independence, then it's really going to be a bit wishy-washy. Don't you agree? Or do you?
Well, as we've already spoken about, two lines of thoughts on John's thinking and on the Associate Branch thinking. John's thinking is SNP majority, they'll vote to use a Section 30 order, precedence to be set.
Okay.
And of course, line 1, page 1 in the manifesto will say a vote for the SNP is a vote for independence.
What? Where do I find this?
The manifesto is not published yet, David.
Right. So
we already know that's what it's going to say. It's going to stay there.
David, hold on. Right. What you're doing is effectively you're holding up a bit of paper that doesn't exist at the moment. So in other words, what you're saying is that John Swinney definitely is going to have a manifesto written that says line 1, page 1, that the SNP are all about independence. That's the most important thing of all.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It will say, as it did in the general election, a vote for the SNP is a vote for independence. The question is whether people will buy it.
Okay. I get what you're saying, but yeah, again,
David, is because DJ Marty in the comments this morning said that the SNP are in decline, and I said to him, well, if the SNP are in decline, I can pack up shop.
Right. Well, if DJ Marty is one person with an opinion, right? What if everybody had that opinion?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then we pack up shop.
Yeah.
And we have spoke about it. We have spoke about it. We'll have a look at the 2026 result and see if it's worth continuing for there.
Right.
Because you and I are getting a bit, David. You and I have been at this a long time. I mean, I've been at Coalface for the best part of quarter century.
Yes.
And as I was saying this morning, if the SNP are in decline, then independence is at the table.
Yes.
So,
again, an opinion like that is a fair opinion to make.
Yes.
It's fair enough for someone to actually come up with that. Oh, the SNP are in decline, right?
Yes.
Also, it's fair enough for somebody like you to say, well, the SNP are not in decline. It's the mere fact that what we need for people to get switched back on to the SNP.
Well, the
right?
polling showing the SNP are going to win this election at Cantor, but I don't believe the polling, David.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
on
this
this,
round we're 17 points in front of Reform, and I think we're about 20 points in front of Labour.
on this one, I would say the polls are up there. They really are.
That's why John is being optimistic. He thinks if he can score another Holyrood majority, a parliament with an SNP majority
Yeah.
of even one, he thinks that because of the political precedence which was set before, when the last time we got an SNP majority, Section 30 was granted, he seems to think that Section 30 will be granted this time.
Well, my personal belief is that no matter if SNP took 100% of the seats in Scotland, and they said, "Well, there you go. Look at that. The whole of Holyrood is now SNP, right? We want independence." What do you think Westminster would say?
There's nothing they would say at that point, because if it was 100% SNP, the people have spoken. There's no need for a referendum.
Doesn't matter, David. Still in all, somebody down there would go, but that doesn't count.
Oh, I would count all right, because they wouldn't that would be going against the people, and that ain't going to happen. They might deny our democracy. Will they have an opportunity to deny it
No.
when the
Democracy.
parliament is so fragmented? But you're talking about a scenario where 100% of the parliament is SNP.
Yeah.
No, I'm afraid that would be the end of the union.
They'll say, no, it's
No, they
just,
wouldn't do it. They wouldn't.
listen, people of Scotland, it's just not the time. We've got too many other things that are happening.
They won't do it. If 100% of the parliament was SNP and they were voted in, and a vote for SNP is a vote for independence, the game would be over. Even Westminster, they work away with it.
You're right. I really do hope you're right. But at the end of the day, it's like,
No, even
I'm gonna
Westminster would dare go against that, because the international community would jump all fucking over them, David.
the international community would look at it and go, that's all would
I'll
happen.
tell you what they would do under these circumstances, though. They would hedge a bet on a referendum. They would then say, no, you need to have a referendum.
Yeah, again, you've got to say to yourself, why do you have to do something twice?
Now let's get back on point and never mind
No, hang on. When the Treaty of Union was formed, right?
I've got 9 months before we work, David.
It was formed once, right? To get out, seemingly, of this Treaty of Union, we need to have a good show in some election, right? Some use of the ballot boxes, right? But then after we've got that good use of the ballot boxes, where the people seem to be behind the party that are producing independence, then that party have to go, right, okay, we'll now do an independence referendum.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if that place went 100% pro-independence on there, at that point, Westminster would try to thwart us with a referendum that they could rig.
Well, there you go.
But they wouldn't be able to, because there'd be too many people voting for it if it was 100% for independence.
So therefore,
David, we have to go away to the winter buttery and get on to the point, because there's only 9 minutes before I go to work.
Well, that's fine.
Folks, it's up to you whether the SNP are in decline or not. It's a matter of whether you want independence or not.
Yeah. And do you want independence? Do you? Really? If you want independence, then fine. Okay. You're going to have to make sure everybody round about you, including yourself, gets up to the ballot box and puts in, yes, there you are, SNP. Not ALBA, not anything else, SNP. If you've got to hold your nose and do it, that's what you do.
Yes.
Otherwise, you don't want independence. Simple as that.
No.
What Dave is trying to say, and I understand, I agree with what he's saying. He's saying if you do vote SNP and do it in high enough numbers, you force the leadership to behave in a certain way.
Yes.
If you behave as voters in a wishy-washy way, whereby, all right, we'll give you and where they end up with one additional seat in place, right? And effectively, the leadership of the SNP will go, oh, well, the people of Scotland, they like the idea of independence, but we'll get there someday.
Well, when you get right, don't you, David? When they ask when people want a referendum, it's always been kicked out. It's always, 2 years time, 5 years time, when the cost of living crisis are, the people are fucking fickle.
Yeah.
But what we need today, folks, if the SNP are in decline, then it's half the table.
Yeah.
All right. So it's up to you, the people, to keep the SNP in pole position. And by keeping them in pole position, it also means that you, the people, get to put pressure on the hierarchy of the party to behave the way you want them to behave.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if you are a good Alba supporter or a Green supporter, whatever, right? Yeah, you may be thinking, oh, well, I'll vote for that. I don't vote for the SNP. But you've got to really give it some thought now. Really give it some thought. Do I vote SNP for the sake of keeping the independence dream alive? There you go.
That's where we're at, David.
Yeah.
Obviously, you and I are going to have to campaign hard to get people's hearts and minds and get them voting in the right direction.
At the moment, my mind is on how do I get people away from voting reform?
My mind's on how do I get people to vote SNP.
Yeah, I know, I appreciate that. So if you figure it's two sides of the same coin, it is two
Well,
sides of the same coin.
let's put it this way: reform are dangerous,
Yeah.
but it's up to the people what they do with their vote. As you know, it's up to us to win hearts and minds. But people, if you're on the independent side and you're not going to vote SNP, and your first vote at least, then the game's a bogey.
Right. Look, can we have a situation whereby we now drop straight onto the Gaza thing? Because that's important. I think people need to know.
People need to know about Tony Blair and his fucking company throwing their hat in with Trump to build the Riviera on the Med, the playground for the rich, on the emptied out Gaza Strip, with only enough Palestinians left to service the hotels and the rich people.
I don't know why Tony Blair is behaving in this way.
Because you're fucking war criminal.
But to be honest with you, I think there's an awful lot to do with Labour for Israel in this. And I think Tony Blair, being an ex-Labour Prime Minister, who got away with things regarding the Chilcot inquiry, he's laughing, and he's laughing all the way to the bank on this. There's a lot of money coming from whatever direction, whether it be America or Israel, whatever, is the reason that Tony Blair is in there.
He's why he's in there for money.
Yes.
He's a war criminal. Trump's a war criminal. Starmer's a war criminal. Lammy's a war criminal. Cooper's a war criminal. In fact, the whole fucking 26 of the cabinet members are war criminals, including the irrelevant Ian Murray, the Scottish secretary.
And obviously Netanyahu, who is sitting in the catbird seat, thinking, right, okay, where are we going to put tank rounds or whatever this time?
Well, apparently it's the NASA hospital. That's 2 days in a row they've stuck it. Last night he was saying the first time round was an accident, and then they go and do the fucking same thing again today.
Yeah. Khan Yunis was one of the biggest settlements in Gaza. And if you remember, it's like Khan Yunis was the one who looked at with the beginning of this genocide. We thought, no, they wouldn't at Khan Yunis. Here they are, they've done it already, and they're doing it again.
There's not much left of the Al Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis, is there?
No.
But that's despicable. Apologise to the world saying it was a mistake and we're investigating it, and then bang, the next day do the same fucking thing.
How many journalists have been killed just over the last 24 hours?
5.
Seriously,
Seriously,
think about
5.
that. Think about that. So you got 5 journalists. Now, okay, there can't be that many journalists if you count the entire population that's left in there, right?
No, they've killed 200 odd so far. And that's not just a Palestinian journalist, that's also a journalist from elsewhere who work for
Right.
people like Al Jazeera.
Yeah. And so why would they target specifically journalists? Why would they do that, David?
They don't want the truth out, David. Do you know they don't want the truth out?
They don't want information getting out that's non uncontrolled. That is fascism, page 1, chapter 1.
Right, David, we're going to have to round it up there. That's 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Sorry about the disrupted and broken stream today, folks. I'm glad that 100 odd 126 could make it back again.
Yeah.
We do apologise for the fact that we haven't been able to cover all the subjects we wanted to cover, like Yvette Cooper, who's fucking about with the with the ECHR. And who else did we have to talk about that we couldn't get rid of, David? We apologise for not getting to talk about.
Kiev. It was Ukraine, Kiev, the people.
And we're sorry we didn't get to talk about Tony Blair.
Yeah.
Of the home of and Yvette Cooper, of course, pissing about. Ed Davey and the Epping Council case, which is being appealed in the High Court today. They're all important things that are
One
going on.
important one to keep your eyes on, guys, is Yvette Cooper making all the noises as if she's going to get rid of the European Convention on Human Rights.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
And that one is scary because that changes so much in your life. Stuff that it's just the fabric that that a lot of our civilization is on, the European Convention on Human Rights. That goes, lots change.
And the UN Charter,
Yeah.
of course. But folks, to say a few things we couldn't get to today because of technical problems. I'll have the technical problems sorted out by Monday, one way or another. Even if I've got to go out and buy another bloody computer.
Yeah.
Well, I have got to go out and buy another computer anyway, because this one's no Windows 11 compatible.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to replace it by in October anyway when Windows 10 goes down.
Yeah.
So I'll get it sorted out over the weekend so we get things back to normal, David. Okay.
Stephen, it's just before we go, it's not oil off the coast of Gaza, it's gas. It's 1 trillion 1 billion cubic meters of gas in a pocket right off the coast of Gaza.
Aye.
And you can imagine people like Trump and Netanyahu are going, yeah, let's get this. And Tony Blair's coming around and goes, yeah, boys, that's it. Let's go for it.
Right,
So,
here we go. But I have to leave it at that. Folks,
all
I'll
right,
see you
guys,
tomorrow
thank you.
morning, 10:30. Helen, if you did manage to tune in, £250 will be with the Chirnside Ladder tomorrow,
Yeah.
by 12:30. Okay. Right, I'll speak to you. I'll see you later, folks. Thanks, moderators. Thanks for anybody who gives us a super chat. Couldn't see them, couldn't put them up. So I do apologise for that. So for me, I'm off. Bye for now. For David, it's
Time for independence, independence, independence. That's what they say in Scotland, and that's what we should all say.
vote SNP. Bye for now.